Hey guys, Quack and Quasar here back again with another Assassin's Creed Odyssey video. Now, with the release of with the announcement of Odyssey, we saw a lot of cool things in the trailers, in the Reddits, and with all the stuff that they announced on social media. There's a ton of cool stuff going on. This game really does look amazing. One of the things that's been missing from the announcement so far is the Discovery Tour mode, which is what you're seeing in the background right now, actually. From Assassin's Creed Origins, I think it was one of the best additions that they've ever made to Assassin's Creed. It wasn't for everyone, but I thought it was a really, really cool addition. Now, for anyone that doesn't remember what it is or didn't play it that much, it was kind of like an educational mode. You can see in the background now that they added post-launch to Assassin's Creed Origins. It was a completely free update, and I thought it was really cool because well, I'll be going into why I thought it was so cool and why I think it should return. But yeah, basically, they haven't announced this for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it was a pretty big thing in Origins. So I think if it was coming to Odyssey, they probably would have announced it so far, or maybe announced like a more fleshed out version. I don't know how they could improve upon this, honestly. But maybe they would announce some changes or updates or something. But yeah, there's been nothing. You'd think like this would be one of the main things, well, not the main thing, but one of the main things that they would lead with when it comes to all of the announcements and all of the updates. Sadly, though, there doesn't seem to be any announcements of it. No one's spoken about it. Ubisoft have actually been questioned about it, if it's going to show its face in Odyssey, and they've just sort of been coy about it. They haven't said yes, they haven't said no, which leads me to believe there is a reason behind it. It's not just like well, we don't want to put it in the game, or we're going to put it into the game post-launch. It leads me to believe like it's something to do with the fact that maybe it was too costly for them to go to all the effort of recording the commentary and getting all the facts and the information and stuff, for it only to become a completely free update, a completely free DLC in Assassin's Creed Origins. You got to remember, Ubisoft is a business and they like money. They really like money. Compared to a lot of other game developers. They're all businesses, they're all looking to get money, and they're all looking to make, profit. So to make this completely free DLC, and it's not like most free DLC in, the gaming industry nowadays, where it's free, but, you can buy cosmetics or something, or stuff to just make it a little bit more profitable or something. This was just a completely free DLC that Ubisoft was amazing, or the part of Ubisoft that made Origins. They were amazing to add it into the game for free and just really add another GM to Assassin's Creed Origins and make it so cool. And I felt, like I said, I thought it was a really cool addition to it because it's something we haven't seen in the past. And Assassin's Creed, all the Assassin's Creeds have been historical and accurate to a certain degree and influenced by actual history that has, historical events that have taken place, but they've also had fantasy to them, they've also had action, they've also had dramatic license, obviously, which is nothing wrong with that, it's a video game after all. But it was cool to have this discovery mode, to just have nothing but the facts and just, get right in, dive in right in, to learn nothing but the facts or the main, the plot points or the main events that happened along the plot of Origins. I thought it was really cool. It was a lot of fun to go through. When I first found out about it, I was like, oh yeah, but it's kind of cool, but who'd use it, who'd want it? But actually, it's really, really cool, the way they did it, the way that you could sort of walk around and explore the areas and the game areas, whilst also hearing facts and information. You're seeing Assassin's Creed Odyssey gameplay in the background right now. At the start, it was the Discovery Tour mode gameplay from Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, I think, like I said, if they were bringing it back, they would have most likely mentioned it at E3 or shown it in some of the gameplay or trailers, at least a little bit of a smidge, because if they were bringing it back, they'd probably evolve it a little bit, they'd probably advance it a little bit, and so far there's nothing. It's, we're only like 2 months away from the release of the game as well, so there should be something of it, there should be some kind of sign of it, there should be some kind of, mention of it at this point, or at least kind of like a hint of it. And I really loved it because it taught you history, whilst also, like I said before, whilst keeping you engaged and focused. It gave you the option to explore the entire area, like Memphis, which was in the clip before that I was exploring. That was sort of the area of focus, like a fort, a town, a city, whilst also listening to facts about that place and the history of that place or that event or whatever. I thought it was really cool. It really fleshed out and brought to life some of the places that you could sort of explore and see and experience in Origins. I think it's a great alternative to the redundant and boring ways of teaching history that is used in schools and college, but mostly schools. I think the history students or pupils or kids at school, imagine if Origins or even Odyssey with Discovery taught was used in schools and it was taught in schools. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to do it for everything because it's limited. It's only ancient Egypt and then ancient Greece. But imagine how cool that would be, going to school and learning about this stuff. It's so cool, it would. It would be such a... I can guarantee like 90% of kids would get straight A's if they learnt history straight from this instead of just boring, senile textbooks that no one gives a damn about and that really contain outdated, crappy, untrue information. I think this would be an amazing um, thing to teach in schools, or maybe not even in schools, just for homework or something. I think it would be cool, and it would, like I said, it would encourage people to learn a lot more, and encourage learning, but also be fun. Um, Again, though, like we had it in Origins. This is one of the reasons I loved it in Origins. It probably was never used in schools, but I think the potential is certainly there. And I think they should have it in future Assassin's Creed, especially Odyssey. Especially, I've been wanting an Ancient Greece Assassin's Creed for so long, and the fact that Ancient Greece is probably one of the most, apart from Ancient Egypt, probably one of the most history-rich places ever, or periods ever. So we really should have Discovery Tour mode. Like, you can't add it into a game that came out like a year or two ago and then be like, oh yeah, but it's nothing. It's super popular. It was super popular in this game. Everyone loved it. But no, we're not going to add it again. And like I said, it might not have been really used in schools or to teach anyone really. It probably was just used for sort of individual education. And, someone plays a game, wants to learn a little bit about the place. But I'm saying the potential was there. It was really cool. The potential was definitely there to learn about this in a school environment. I think it would be so cool if they used that in a school environment. I think people would listen a lot more and it would be a lot more fun. Again, though, if it's not showing its face in this game and maybe the next Assassin's Creed game, then there's no potential for that, and I think that would be awesome. It really would, and it'll be this part of the game, the Discovery Tour mode. It was one of the positive sides of gaming. You get so many people bashing gaming nowadays, blaming school shootings on gaming and violence and gun crime and stuff on gaming. It's ridiculous. It really is. They kind of have to eat their shoe when there's something like this in gaming that's teaching people 100% accurate history and historical information and facts and stuff. Those guys that blame gaming for everything, every problem in the world, they can shut the hell up, because it's just this is super positive and it's super awesome, and I would really love to see it return, not just in Odyssey, but in the next Assassin's Creed game and the next one and the next one, and hopefully we'll have enough Assassin's Creed games to see maybe one day it being used in schools. Maybe not worldwide or nationwide, but just in one or two. I think it would be pretty cool. Like I said, people would definitely. I know if I was still in school, I'd definitely pay a lot more attention if I learned it from Assassin's Creed, 100%. And obviously, I'm not talking about the campaign, because some of the campaign's sort of dramatic license. They changed some of it to make it more entertaining and more sort of dramatic. But in the discovery mode, all in all, I'd say 99% of the information is correct. Some of it's incorrect just because we don't know that much about ancient Greece and ancient Egypt, or know everything, but all in all, it's a lot more accurate, a lot more correct than the outdated, 2005 textbooks that we get in schools and in colleges and stuff. Now, I really liked it because it provided you with the backstory and the historical events happening around the time that the campaign is set in. It further immersed you in the story, and it really added more depth and life to the in-game world and plot. You sort of had people could just play through the game and enjoy the bits of history and story there, but they could just have that. They could be content with that, or you could go in the discovery mode, and it was there for people that wanted that that wanted to learn all of the history, or a lot more of the history that was there, and gave people the option to really seek it out. If they sought it out, they'd get the information. I loved that. I really did think it was cool, and it really made you realize that, yeah, like I said, there's dramatic license in Assassin's Creed, but it's not all fantasy. It's like not just a video game story. A lot of it actually happened, especially obviously there's deviations in Assassin's Creed and in Assassin's Creed Origins, but a lot of it was real people, Caesar, Cleopatra. Real places, real characters, real wars. We've got the Peloponnesian War, which is the focus of Odyssey, where it's Spartans versus Athenians. It was the war that actually happened. Discovery Tour mode really emphasizes the fact, people who don't really know that much about history, or maybe younger people or something, they'll play the game and think, oh, this is completely fake, this is just a story. It's like Skyrim, it's like Elder Scrolls or whatever. It's made to entertain, but no, it's a real thing. A lot of it was real, and a lot of the things you see in the game will be pretty goddamn accurate to how it actually played out, what it looked like, what it sounded like, and what it felt like. The events that sort of happened in the Peloponnesian War. And I feel like Ubisoft do so much, like investigate. Well, they do so much research into all the history, and so little of it ends up in the game. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of history in the game and everything. Ton of history in all of the Assassin's Creed games, especially the more modern Assassin's Creed games. But at the same time, it's hard to really appreciate and sort of realize how much, like literally how much time they spent researching the history behind the plots and the settings and the periods that the games are set in. Again, especially with Origins and now with Odyssey, like thousands of hours have gone into learning about this history and sort of researching all of this history, straight like even down to the ropes that would tie up people's armor and people's shoes and stuff. They've learned about that, and that's like they've basically created that photo realistically in the game. I think Discovery Tour mode, it does it justice. The amount of history research that they did, it does it justice. Like I said, they did an amazing job of the historical research for their games and for Discovery Tour mode, and I think Discovery Tour mode just emphasized this and put a spotlight on how much hard work went into it, and also it gives, for the people that seek out that kind of extra knowledge, that's going to flesh out the story and, like I said, make it feel even more real and make you learn even more about it. It does them a little bit more justice for all of the hours that they put into it. We all appreciate the graphic designers. They put thousands of hours into designing the game and making it realistic and everything. But without that, it wouldn't look like, without the historical research and historical accuracy that's in this game, it wouldn't look how it is, and it wouldn't look accurate to it. It would just look kind of like ancient Greek themed. Not enough credit goes to the people that research all of the history and the facts behind it. Like I said, let me just stress this again. It should be used in schools. Maybe not, like you can't teach an entire semester or an entire school year just off of Assassin's Creed Odyssey Discovery Tour mode. You probably couldn't anyway, but you could base it off of it. Or you could base like a term, like a 30-day period off of it, or even just a couple of weeks of history class. If you learn about ancient Greece or ancient Egypt, you could definitely use Discovery Tour as a source. You really could, and it would be so cool, and it would be a lot more engaging for people. Like I said though, all in all, I just thought it wasn't for everyone, Discovery Tour, but I just thought it was such a good addition to the game. We've had, as Assassin's Creed have gone on, we've had bigger battles, bigger, like more intense action sequences, better parkour, better free running, better combat, better graphics, obviously. But with Origins, we got better history, better historical accuracy, and we learned more from it. You can play Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, for example. You can learn a ton from that, or any of the Assassin's Creeds. But you can't go into it and be like, alright, this definitely happened. Cesare Borgia definitely, took over half of Rome using pieces of Eden. Some of it's dramatic license and just there to entertain you and for dramatic purposes. But with the Discovery Tour mode, you can go into it, you can learn about stuff, and you can know it's all accurate, or accurate as much as it can be, regarding as much of the information that they can garner from like a 2,000-year-old event and period and war. I just really loved it because it was cool with Origins going through Memphis and Alexandria. You'd learn about stuff just from playing the game and from, I think there was a codex in Origins, wasn't there? There's something like that. You learn about stuff from playing the game, but you could explore Alexandria and then go through the Alexandria Discovery Tour, I don't know what you call them, missions, sequences, and you could learn more about it. And then the next time you go in Alexandria, the city of Alexandria, actually in game, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is the tomb of Alexander the Great, or this is why this bridge is here, and this is why it was so close to the Nile, and this is why the city was there. It's really cool. If you haven't really checked Origins, Assassin's Creed Origins Discovery Tour mode out, I'd definitely give it a go before Odyssey, and I'd love to see more people request the Discovery Tour mode to be in Odyssey. I think it should be in Odyssey. It was awesome in Assassin's Creed Origins, and yeah, the more people that ask for it, the more likely that it will be there. People have to be very vocal with what they want in Odyssey, and just tell people, this is what we need, or this is what we want in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This is what we like from Origins, and this is what we want in Odyssey. And I think Discovery Tour, it will probably be at the back burner for the planned content that they're going to add to the game. Not because it wasn't good, but just because I don't think that's going to be in the forefront of many people's minds. The main thing will be like graphics, historical accuracy, big battles, as you can see in the background now, in the gameplay, and good combat, which obviously we've got the ship gameplay. Everyone will be talking about that. I think a lot of people will be neglecting Discovery Tour mode, and I think more people that talk about it, I'm not saying talk about it instead of, I'm not saying say right, we don't care about graphics, we care about historical accuracy and Discovery Tour mode. I'm not saying that. I still care about the graphics and stuff, but I'm saying I want more people, especially on the internet, to talk about that, because then it will increase the chances of us getting it. Honestly, at this point, I think it's unlikely that we'll get Discovery Tour mode at day one. On day one when it first releases, I think it will. If they do decide to add it to the game, I think it will more likely be added post-launch, hopefully for free, like with Assassin's Creed Origins Discovery Tour mode as well. Anyway, I'm going to end the video there. If you guys have anything to add to that, tell me what you thought of Discovery Tour mode. Did you like it? Do you think it should return to Odyssey? And if you agree with me, if you enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like. Honestly, like I said, be super vocal. If you want this being added to Odyssey, or whatever you want to be added to Odyssey, if you want a slightly different combat system, or if you want, more DLC than they've got planned, or whatever. If you've got requests for Odyssey, now is the time to be vocal. In the last few months before the release, this is when they can be like, alright, we'll add that as DLC, we'll add that as... Because now, the game's probably already finished in terms of development now. What they're working on now is DLC. The game's probably printed out on discs, or going to be printed out on discs very, very soon. What they'll be working on now, though, is possible DLC and what people might want and stuff, so it's very important for you guys to be vocal about what you might want from things like I've just mentioned. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more of my stuff, definitely subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next video.